So growing up, I feel like we all have that one movie that we just attach our lives onto. We adore, we love, we watch years later and still enjoy to this day. And for me, that is The Lion King. I love and adore this movie. Whenever there's like a sequel or a follow-up or some sort of spin-off, I'm very protective of it and I'm very critical of it. Like for example, Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, best Disney sequel. Fight me in the comments. I don't care. I will die on that hill. That's Lion King 2 is the best Disney sequel. Now, the Lion King live action, trash. Hated it. Lion King 1.5, okay, it's just a side story. That's fine. Lion Guard, I really can't speak on. I haven't seen much. I just know it's Scar comes back to life or something, so that's kind of weird. And that Kiara, I guess, has a brother. But apparently Kiara and Kovu are still in it, so Lion King 2 is still canon, I think. And then Mufasa, it's not canon to me. Nope, Scar and Mufasa were biological brothers. Scar even says it. He says it in the movie, something about the gene pool.
Well, as far as brains go, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
I will fight that to the death as well in the comments. I refuse to see Mufasa, by the way, in case you're wondering. Anyways, yeah, today we're going to be talking about the soundtrack for this movie, The Lion King, and I'm very excited because of all of the soundtracks of musicals that I am going to talk about, this is the one I probably adore the most, and I figured I should do this as the first one for sure. Hello, my name is Brandon Vanal. I am a gamer, music lover, and aspiring voice actor. Now, a few things before we get into the tracks. First of all, if you have not seen The Lion King for some reason, what are you doing with your life? Go see it now. What are you doing here? I feel like, though, the majority of people watching this either are just watching my videos, or you've already seen The Lion King and are interested in collecting the vinyl or getting it, or if you should get it. Another thing I want to point out is that there is a picture disc version of this soundtrack. Now, this is my warning to vinyl collectors. Do not get the picture discs if you want a good sounding vinyl. If you just want it for like a display or whatever, or just to have it, cool. If you want to listen to it and enjoy it, you're not going to get that with the picture disc. I had the picture disc of this. I got it for Christmas because I asked for the Lion King soundtrack. And oh my god, it was crackling like a mofo. It was skipping like a mofo. And I learned it's a picture disc thing in general because I had the Aristocats soundtrack on a picture disc because they don't have an official vinyl for that. And yeah, same thing. Skipped like crazy, crackled like crazy. Don't get the picture disc of this. Get this one. You can get this at Walmart. That's where I found it, honestly. I just came across it and was like, okay, old employers, you got me this time. You win. But you can also get this on the Disney Music Emporium online, so I recommend getting it that way. Just don't get the picture disc. Don't. It's not worth it. I wish that Disney would just put all of their soundtracks that they have on picture discs on normal vinyls. They would have so much of my money. And lastly, of course, this is a vinyl record review. Let's go look over the packaging a bit. This vinyl record comes with a beautiful Savannah Brown disc. It's pretty much the brown I'm wearing right now is my shirt, but just a little bit darker. I really love it. For some reason, I feel like brown just matches the tone of the movie. And, I think it's great. It also reminds me of Scar's coloring, and Scar is my, I want to say second favorite Lion King character, maybe third, I don't know. It's kind of tied with Simba. But yeah, it's a really cool colored disc, and definitely was a nice surprise when I found out that when I opened the packaging for the first time. Alright, so here we got a beautiful portrait of the main cast and crew, minus a couple of the main characters. We got Pumbaa and Timon right there. We got Simba right there, Nala, Rafiki, and then we got Scar right there looking kind of sus. I don't know about you, Scar. What you up to? What are you planning, Scar? Huh? What you doing? Yeah, they're all on Pride Rock, and then you can see like in the background the whole kingdom of animals, like the elephants, the antelope, all of them. Just all in the background with birds in the sky. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful artwork. Way better than the damn picture disc. Do not get it. Okay. On the inside, we got more artwork. And It's another sort of depiction. There's Mufasa right there, and the kingdom, and Zazu flying right there. So I guess that's how they got Mufasa into the mix. Yeah, beautiful sunset, sunsetty vibe going on there. And then, of course, we got the back with Rafiki holding up Simba and then laying out all the tracks right there on the back at sunset. Or sunrise. I believe that's actually sunrise because I assume this takes place the beginning of the movie. Looking on the inside, we have only one thing. We have the sleeve. And it is one of my favorite, record sleeves ever. It's just like a happy picture of Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba, the trio. I loved that. That brought such a smile to my face when I opened the vinyl record for the first time. On the back, we got the all the songs included in the soundtrack, as well as the lyrics, of course. So all in all, I think this is a great package from Disney, all things considered. And yeah, hopefully they make more vinyls that are picture discs into stuff like this, so that we can enjoy more of these kind of movies with a great sound. But yeah, I love the artwork, love the packaging, very solid. So first we're going to go over side 1, then we're going to go over side 2. It goes as 1 and 2 instead of A and B for some reason. Side 1 is really the only side that has all the musical numbers. The rest are the Hans Zimmer's tracks, which we'll talk about. But yeah, a few things just as in general is one, Elton John. This is a fun fact. Elton John had a surprising amount to do with the Lion King soundtrack. You know how Kendrick Lamar had so much involvement in the Black Panther album that people actually say it's part of his discography? Elton John should get the same treatment here, except it was a collaboration with Hans Zimmer. Oh, and of course, I couldn't forget Tim Rice. Tim Rice as well. So track 1 is The Circle of Life. This beautiful song opens up the movie and the soundtrack, and is performed by the talented Carmen Twilly. Her voice is amazing, and this is the definitive version of Circle of Life of any version that's out there, whether it be the live action version, Elton John's cover of it, which we will get to. This is just, oh my gosh, ear candy. It's also my favorite song from this movie. It straight up, right at the beginning, best song. If you're out of the loop, the song basically explains the concept of the circle of life in a way. How I see the concept, how I kind of understand it, is the circle begins when you are born, and then you find your place in the circle of life, and then it comes full circle when you die. But the circle continues through generation after generation after generation. And she explains how it's all around us. We can see it, feel it, hear it, breathe it. It's everywhere. The circle of life is everything around us. It's really a beautiful song, and I get chills every time it comes on. Also because I know I'm in for a ride. I Just Can't Wait to Be King is sung mainly by young Simba and young Nala. Throughout the song, the whole goal of it really is, even though Simba's saying how excited he is that one day he'll be a king, and he just can't wait for that day to happen, they're really trying to get away from Zazu, who's like Mufasa's assistant. He's like a bird. Forgot what kind of bird. A toucan? I think he was a toucan. And basically he's supposed to watch over them and stuff. And yeah, they're using this song as a distraction kind of to get Zazu to stop following them so they can go explore the elephant graveyard, which is a forbidden place that no one's allowed to go, especially Simba. Now on to track 3, Be Prepared. My God. The best Disney villain song from the best Disney villain. Fuck you. I know you're going to say it's a different Disney villain. No. Be Prepared is peak Disney villain song, and Scar is peak Disney villain. The Disney villains from the 90s were A tier. No, they were S tier villains. And not just Scar. God, Frollo. Holy crap, Frollo was evil. Even Jeepers. What happened to Disney villains? I swear, After Frozen, the Disney villains just became like boring, sympathetic characters. But God, Scar, pure evil. I know with the Mufasa prequel, they're trying to make Scar look like a sympathetic villain. No, fuck that shit. Enough about that. This song is mainly performed by Jeremy Irons, who voices Scar throughout the movie. This song is essentially him planning a coup to kill Mufasa with the hyenas so that he can become king. And he also wants to kill Simba in the process so that he doesn't have to worry about Simba. I love like the African drums mix, the hum pa bum, hum pa bum. Like it's like I love it. Gives me goosebumps anytime I listen to it. Ear candy, just like Circle of Life. I was so torn on whether Circle of Life was my favorite song or this one, but it's definitely Circle of Life. There's no topping that one. But now we get into a little fun fact about the song. So, you know how I said the song was mainly performed by Jeremy Irons? Well, that is because apparently near the end, when he's going like, "You won't get a snicker on me," or something like that, he apparently threw out his voice and they needed to get the song done. So they got Jim Cummings to come in and finish the song. And we didn't notice because he did such a good job at replicating that Jeremy Irons' voice for that. You know, I learned this like probably 6 months ago. The craziest part is Scar is so evil, right? Jim Cummings voices Winnie the fucking Pooh. He voices the most wholesome Disney character. But he also did a little snippet of Scar, one of the most evil Disney characters. I find that so funny. And such a cool fact. It shows how talented Jim Cummings really is. So kudos to him. Yeah, it's like, unless you were told this before, you probably have never made that connection. But yeah, kudos to both of them. Amazing song. Love it. Next is Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Now, this song is sung mainly by Timon and Pumbaa. Of course, y'all probably already knew that. Now, he tries to cheer him and the audience up by teaching us about Hakuna Matata, which is Swahili for no worries, right after Mufasa's death, which we'll get to. Now, this actually works on Simba. It didn't work for me quite yet. It was taking a minute. I think like halfway through the song, I was like, okay, yeah, okay. We can try to move on. But yeah, Simba ends up joining in, and then it transitions to him as a full-grown lion. It means no worries for the rest of your days. Sorry, get a little carried away there sometimes. But yeah, this song was desperately needed to settle down from how intense that this movie got. Next track is Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Now this song is sung by Timon, Pumbaa, Simba, and Nala, who came to find help to stop Scar. And it's also, as well as like backup vocals, and actually kind of the main vocals, is Crystal Murden. But yeah, after being apart for years and years, Nala found help. She found Simba, and they're falling in love, hence the sequence of the song. Meanwhile, Timon and Pumbaa are kind of panicking and are like, oh no, our lovely trio that we built together over these last few years with Hakuna Matata, it's coming to an end because this girl showed up and he's in love now. And yeah, it's a really beautiful song, and it's also the last musical number in this movie. So now we get to the score, the Hans Zimmer tracks. And the first one is This Land. Guys, I'm going to be honest. So to prepare for this review, I re-listened to the whole soundtrack, and unironically, no joke, when I heard This Land, I actually started tearing up, and I think I even cried a little. Because This Land is the song that plays when Mufasa is teaching Simba about the circle of life, how everything the light touches belongs to them, and how one day his time will set and he will be king. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, guys. After the recent passing of James Earl Jones, a lot of the score here really hits different. It just does. So hopefully I don't get too emotional, but yeah, this was a beautiful song. Just remembering, that him teaching Simba about the circle of life, and then him after he saves Simba from the elephant graveyard, and they're like playing together. It just it hits different. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, there's upbeat drums at the end, but honestly, that didn't help me much. Yeah, but yeah, the song was beautiful. It just this one really hurt. This one really hurt. He lived a long life, but James Earl Jones was such a big part of my childhood, from The Lion King to him voicing Darth Vader to him being in The Sandlot. I mean, iconic. Yeah. So now it's time to relive childhood trauma with To Die For. Coming off that song that made me cry because of, James Earl Jones's passing. We get over to Mufasa's passing. Yeah, so this is the song that plays during the stampede and Mufasa trying to save Simba. Him doing so, but then gets thrown into the stampede by Scar, and then even Simba going up to Mufasa's corpse. I heard somewhere that they said that Mufasa was actually still alive, which I call bullshit on, really. When he fell, but he was knocked unconscious. And that Scar, after Simba ran away, did the finishing blow, which probably is the case, but I don't think he would have survived that stampede fall. No. Long live the king. But yeah, all of the instrumentals, the background vocals in it, the intensity to the really sadness to the eeriness, it's just such a mix of emotions from this track. And God, I'm feeling the trauma all over again just from talking about this, the soundtrack from it. Not even the actual scene. Well, I am kind of describing the scene, but yeah, it's just, gosh. Hans Zimmer goes crazy on everything that he touches, but this was next level. Now we're finally at side 2, which is Under the Stars, and this song plays, I believe, when Simba is contemplating whether or not he should go back to the Pride Lands, and he's just very unsure. I believe this is also when Rafiki shows up to kind of talk some sense into him and saying, the past is in the past. You just got to move on to the future. And that he's got to face his past, and that he needs to take his place as the rightful king of the Pride Lands like his father wanted him to do. And then realizing, he has friends by his side to help, he decides to go and take his spot as the king of the Pride Lands. And as he's doing it, the music gets more and more upbeat. The drums move in, the tempo goes up, and you can feel the energy of determination and heroics that Simba is about to embark on, leading us into the third and final act. The next track is The King of Pride Rock. This is the last of the score tracks from Hans Zimmer. And this one also has a lot of emotions going into it, because it's pretty much the instance that Simba goes back to Pride Rock and is facing Scar. So this is the whole battle going on. This is him seeing the Pride Land, seeing what it has become since he left and how bad it's gotten. And yeah, a bunch of crazy shit happening. Scar revealing to Simba that he actually killed Mufasa, that Mufasa didn't fall by accident and that wasn't his fault, that he was murdered, and then Simba just kicking his ass. Which I wanna say something really quick. So if you've seen The Lion King, how like I just mentioned, Scar reveals to Simba before Simba looks like he's about to die in a similar fashion off of Pride Rock into like some fire. Scar says, "And here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa." I bet you if he didn't say that, if he didn't reveal that secret, if he kept it to his grave, I think Scar would have won, because that gave Simba the anger to just pounce and like call him a murderer and reveal that to the whole tribe and all that. Anyways, after the whole battle part, the instruments quiet down and we get the violins and epic music plays as Simba is going to the peak of Pride Rock and roaring, claiming the throne as King of the Pride Lands, and then revealing one of the protagonists for The Lion King 2, Kiara, and it ends there with the circle of life in the next continuing once again. Great way to come full circle. Take a shot every time I've said circle in this video. You'd be dead. Alright, and then the last thing I want to talk about are the last 3 tracks, and that is the Elton John renditions. Now, like I mentioned, Elton John had a lot to do with this movie and the soundtrack and stuff, and he has different rendition of 3 different songs from the soundtrack. And the renditions are of Circle of Life, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight? So basically everyone but Be Prepared and Hakuna Matata. Basically what this is are like Elton Johnified non-musical songs. So basically you don't need the context of the movie or the song or anything going in to go into it. And then you get the 90s style Elton John flair to it. So yeah, he did an amazing job, especially with Can You Feel the Love Tonight. I mean, he did a really, really banging job on that. But yeah, besides changing up the lyrics, there's not much to talk about. But he killed it. And that's how the album ends, with Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Elton John rendition. And yeah, I just can't stress to you guys enough how much I love this soundtrack. This soundtrack just meant so much to me. You could probably tell throughout the video. Of all the vinyl reviews I've done so far, this is number 9, I believe. I was so excited throughout this whole video, just raving about this movie. And that's why I really wanted to talk about it, especially because of the recent passing of James Earl Jones. I felt like I needed to talk about it almost. So now that this one's over with, Disney, I'm asking you, please, put the Lion King 2 soundtrack on vinyl like this. Please, I need the Simba's Pride one. Deception, disgrace, evil as plain as the scar on his face. There's so many bangers from the Lion King 2. Please put that on vinyl, I'm begging you. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the Lion King. Did you like the soundtrack if you got it? Do you like the movie? How do you feel about Mufasa? Let's talk about that, because I'm most likely not going to get the vinyl for it. I didn't get the vinyl for the live action Lion King because the way they just butchered Be Prepared. Oh my god. Let me know what you guys think of the Lion King, any of the sequels or spin-offs, well, the soundtrack in general. One last thing before I go. This is, in fact, my 9th final record review. So my 10th one is going to be a special one. It's going to be my first, boxed vinyl review. So I'm trying to plan it out. So this next one's going to take some time. So if you're subscribed to me, I ask you to be a little patient. I do need to make one video for sure, talking about a different aspect of the band I'll be talking about. You probably could guess, actually. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell when you do. And yeah, so long and good night.